Well, it's been a while since I updated here. It's June 11th, Sunday afternoon. It is raining outside, nice, steady, calm rain. And I've been thinking a lot today. So I thought I'd jump on here and just kind of talk about what I've been thinking about, what's been occupying my mind here for the last few days. Since the last time I updated, Catherine's come back home from Los Angeles. Uh, they very nicely told her that it wasn't working out, and so me and Jess booked her a flight back, and so she arrived on, I want to say, Wednesday of last week, and that's really cool. It's nice to have her back. And on Friday, I took her over to North Carolina Works, which is an employment agency here in North Carolina. They have several locations. They work a lot. They work with all kinds of populations, but they have a great database and a lot of tools that kind of match people to jobs based on their personalities and skills, hard skills, and where they want to be in life. And so I took her there, but I also went myself and just kind of presented myself to one of the counselors. Took some assessment tests, and those career assessment tests are always terrible for me. They never work out right because I end up, they measure things along a sphere of like creativity, social aspects, uh, things like lab work and stuff like that. And I always end up coming out really almost like, if you think of it as a pie, I come out with all these things equal. And so they hardly ever help point me in a direction that I think, well, this is where I'd like to go. But they had me do one of these assessments where I came out really strongly in terms of human service, teaching, the sorts of jobs that they said I'd be good for, or good at, that what I would find fulfilling, or teaching jobs, therapist, um, psychiatrist, etc. Thing I wasn't really shocked by. Jobs that would offer me a chance to write and to be creative. And all that's been true since I was 17, and that's actually what the job counselor was saying to me. She said, how far are you away from your bachelor's? And I said, well, just a few classes, really, maybe 5 or 6 classes. And she said, well, that's nothing. You should get your bachelor's and move on to your master's and get headed in a direction that you want to go, that's interesting to you. And so I've been thinking about that a lot. Just, Jessica and I are almost out of money. That's because I haven't worked for almost a year. And I'm just wondering, how do I pursue that goal? But what do I do in the meantime? What kind of job do I look for in the meantime? It was nice to talk to the counselor because when I've tried to talk to Jessica about this, it's like her fear and her insecurity. She's always worried about money. Um, but her idea is just get back to work right away. Do whatever you have to do. You do what you got to do. Get back to work. Who cares if the work is fulfilling? We need to pay the rent. And my mind just kind of works differently. You know, I've been in sales, high pressure environments for most of my adult life since I was about 30. So most of my time has been in like these really high pressure, high stress, kind of cutthroat jobs that I just don't like, that I just don't find, I just don't like the environments, you know. And I was thinking back on my time at Dell Tech and how I had noticed like these people that were, so I was 16, 17 when I was at Delaware Tech. It was the early 90s, and I noticed these people, middle-aged mothers, people who'd had families and their kids were grown and they were going back to school, and a few guys too that were just at a place in life where they were just going to a second career, just getting their education. They were a lot older than me. In fact, I always hung out with people that were older than me when I was young. And now I think I'd like to be that weirdo. I'd like to be that that guy in the class that's got his kids raised for the most part and is just looking for the next step, looking for, you know, what am I going to do? What kind of impact am I going to make with the time I have left? So I've been thinking a lot about that. Just how do I make that work? What kind of work can I do at home to just pay the bills while I'm actually pursuing what I think I really want to do? And I've been praying about that a lot too. Just today, especially, it's raining now, but earlier today it was 80 degrees. It was sunny. I took our dog Amy for a walk and took my shirt off, walked in the sunshine, and I was just praying. Just been praying today, just saying, Lord, you know, this Father is a life you created, and it's good. And I must have a place in it, but I need your will and your plan to triumph in me. And he knows my weakness. He knew the things I'd be hung up on. I was just thankful to God, you know, telling him he's been with me since I was a child, since I was young. And I didn't come here to Winston-Salem to check out. This isn't a place where I want to, you know, I guess in the past year, a lot of my thinking has been, well, my best days are all behind me, you know, and I can feel that kind of transitioning. God knew I was an idiot when he called me, but I just would hate to finish out my days with however long I have left and not have accomplished what he wants me to accomplish and who he wants me to be. I want that cultivated in my heart, in my life. You know, I started the weekend out very angry at Jessica. She, while I was at North Carolina Works talking to the job counselor, she asked me about Jessica's gross income. I told her I hadn't really had an income for almost a year now. It was this time last year that I was looking for places to live for us to move to. So it's been a good solid year since I really was active at work, since I was bringing in income. And so she said, well, you might qualify for some training programs, but it's kind of strict in terms of your income. And she said, I doubt you'll qualify. And I said, well, I needed to know what my wife made. So I texted Jessica and I said, what's your gross income? And she immediately texted back, well, why? Why do you want to know? And that really irritated me. Um, the dog's getting ready to go off. Hold on. Amy, stop it. Lay down. Anyways, I needed to know what her income was to see if I qualified for this program. And so when she texted back why, I was irritated. I thought, why do I need to tell you why? You know, why can't you just tell me what your income is? We've been married for 26 years almost. Like if I ask a question like that, why? What is it that's suspected, or why do I have to, justify it? Anyways, she said she just wanted to know, but I responded to her. I said, just tell me what it is. And then I called her our daughter in law's name. And we don't like our daughter in law, the woman that our son married. Got concerns about her, but it's a long story. But Jessica got very offended by this. And she sent me all these texts. You know, how could you call me that? How could you compare me to her? I thought you were trying to open up a credit card or something. She just suspected me of doing something, of being up to no good. And that is what bothered me. I don't understand why my wife's autopilot setting is to think of me as nefarious, as someone who doesn't care, as someone who is just totally unpredictable and somehow scary and somehow the bad guy and up to something. Someone who doesn't care about his children, or someone who doesn't care. She's accused me of all this stuff. And it's always been this way. It has always been, like anytime that I've tried to be a leader, tried to move in a direction for our family, whether it's spiritually, physically, talking about like what we eat in this house, or, pursuing health, or whatever it is, everything has been resisted by Jessica. Everything. And, it's like a fear of losing control or something, I guess. But, anyways, she was mad. She was dragging me through the mud. And we were supposed to go visit our daughter this weekend. Our daughter just bought some land with her husband. And we were supposed to go camping. And I said, I'm just going to stay home. And I'm so glad I did, honestly. It's been quiet. Could just listen to the rain. And I'm trying to figure out how to tell her, like, what do I do in my marriage? That part of the reason I wanted to stay home is because I'm tired of being thought of in a negative way. She acts like she's a huge saint if she doesn't express the negative feelings she had, but I'm upset about the fact that those negative ideas, those negative thoughts are there to begin with, And if I had gone to visit my daughter, and if I'd gone with everyone else, I would have done or said something that made her mad. And it's just kind of the same old story. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. And I'm just not sure what to do about that. So I've been praying about that even, I know that I don't wrestle. Jessica's not my enemy. There's spiritual forces at work that want to destroy us as individuals, destroy our marriage, destroy us as people, render us ineffective, keep us away from each other and from God. And I just don't know how to respond to those things. I think I'm over my anger. I think I prayed through it this weekend. My anger towards her. So I'm really hoping that this week will be a turning point, in terms of here's the direction I'm going. Here's the type of job I'm looking for just to get me through until I get this master's degree. Till I get this bachelor's degree and then this master's degree. And then I do what I started out to do when I was young, which was social work, counseling, therapist, something in that line, some kind of work in that line. Person centered, human focused. And it's got me feeling pretty good. Just want the Lord to have his way in my life.